All right, so we're here today at the Anderson Manufacturing Facility in Hebron, Kentucky.
Yep.
Kyle, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle Wade. I'm the media content manager here at Anderson Manufacturing. And Paul, we appreciate you having you out here. And therapy range crowd out there watching this, I hope you guys enjoy. We're gonna put together a great video. We're starting right here at my favorite spot. A spot that a lot of people miss, but means so much to us here at Anderson. And that's our Veterans Memorial. Basically just paying homage to those who laid their life down and sacrificed so much for us to have the freedoms that we enjoy today. I know we sit around and we harp a lot on, you know, how bad things are, but we're still the greatest country, and we take a lot of great pride in that. And you can't see it, it's not a frame, but we got a big old glory up there too waving. So
yeah, it's probably what, a 15-20 footer up
it's
there?
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's a nice sized American flag they got up there. Now, Anderson Manufacturing, you know, you're not just talking the talk when you talk about how you support the veterans. And, you know, from what I understand, you have a lot of veterans that actually work here at the facility. So they're not just hyping that up. They do have a bunch of, they actually employ their veterans. They put their money where their mouth is when it comes to supporting our vets. Is that right? That's accurate?
That's correct, Paul, and I could tell you from personal experience, like they've helped me out a lot. This was an easy transition from the Marine Corps and the building rifles. And man, some of the things they've done for me, like they've gave me a week of extra paid vacation to go see my friends and go see some guys across the country that I would not have been able to do if I had to miss that week of pay. So I owe a lot to this company, and that's all I got to say on that, to be honest with you.
If you're watching from Northern Kentucky area, come on over and put in an application. If you're a veteran, no guarantee on a job, but you know, they do like supporting the veterans, and I would imagine that would probably get you a little more favor than just some Joe Schmo walking in off the street.
100%, and like I said, easy transition.
Outstanding.
Yep.
All right, guys, so we're going to take this show inside and start getting some video of the magic that takes place. And yeah, let's do that. You want to do that?
Let's do it.
We can do this, but we can only do it together. Oh yeah!
And it's perfect too because everybody's at lunch. So, but right here we got the Anderson Custom Shop. The Anderson Custom Shop is where all of our law enforcement rifles come through, and any type of special runs that we do, one-off rifles, anything like that, they all come through the Custom Shop. And that's where our two most experienced gunsmiths here, they work in this area and kind of keep everything at bay. They also do a lot of that Remington custom shop stuff we were talking to you about too. So right here, lowers are being machined as we speak. Your lower receivers start off as a 70-75 T6 aluminum forging. Pretty hefty little guy here. And then that's actually coming out. Those will be done when they come out, when they pop out of the machine bag.
Cool. So that's where the magic actually happens, huh?
When the lower receiver comes out, they go through a system of gauging. They've got to be measured, make sure everything is to spec. And then these all obviously are for your different holes. Make sure your thread's good for your buffer tube. Just to make sure everything that we put out is coming out. So it goes from this guy right here to this.
I see somebody drinks the right drink here.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're a big Mountain Dew company. We should be sponsored by Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, if you're out there.
I know, right?
So all these machines right here are cutting bar stock. So it's either going to be used for our bolt leader, or it's going to go through our barrel cell. But all these are cutting bar stock. We use it for gas blocks, flash hiders, you name it. Bar stock's going to be cut, and we're going to be using that to manufacture some cool gun parts here. You'll see that's coming out of phase 1.
kid in the candy store over here.
So right here, your barrel's getting its rifling. You know our bread and butter here is 223, 556. We actually chamber our rifles in 223 wild. That way you can use 223, 556. You're not gonna run into an issue there. And it'll come over here. And through this barrel cell is where you're gonna get your contour, your M4 contour, your government profile, anything like that. And you'll see it's gotta go through a series of checks. All of our barrels are button rifled. But then from that bar stock you've seen over there, you get a rifle. It doesn't have the gas tube cut or the gas hole cut yet. It doesn't have the barrel extension yet. That is a fresh, oily barrel right there. That's your 16-inch 556. Pretty cool, man.
And you guys do all the rifling in-house too. That's wild.
Yeah, that's done button rifling. So basically, they call it a button, but it's a tool that goes in and it gets pulled out. And as it pulls out, it's cutting that rifling.
Wow.
And then after that, it'll get sent out and it'll get nitride gas treated. That's been known to be more reliable and hold up longer than a chrome line barrel.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and that's what I found too, is that those nitride line barrels, they hold up really well.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of rounds there before you have to start replacing it.
Yep.
I mean, I personally never had to replace a barrel on a rifle yet. I've never shot very much before I had to going by.
That's also because you own a lot of rifles.
I do own a lot. But I also own a lot of good rifles.
Yes. And that's where it counts.
That's where it counts.
Yes, sir. Over here is our final line of defense for our barrels going out. It's going to get the gas hole drilled right here, and then it's going to get its final engraving. Obviously, both very important components of getting that rifle out. And every rifling's got its own different gas hole size and all that. So the machinist has to pay attention. They're going to do their final gauge checks here, put it in the bath, make sure it gets cleaned out very nice, attach the barrel extension, and then we're good to roll.
I wanted to get a Mountain Dew out of the machine. We've established that Anderson is a Mountain Dew kind of company. So I come over to the vending machine to get a Mountain Dew and come to find out there's nothing in this but machine parts. Can you help me understand why I can't have a Mountain Dew?
Yeah, so when a tool goes down in one of these machines, the machine is able to come over here, scan the card, and replace their tool. This helps us kind of keep track on what machines burning through what tooling at the rate of time. That way we can be like, oh, well, this one's burning through a little quicker than that one. Let's kind of go in and diagnose what the problem is and how we can make it last longer. So just a way to kind of optimize and decrease our spending as far as tooling goes.
And FYI, they are not making the employees buy their own parts. They just scan their little ID badge, they get the part. It's merely just for keeping track of what machines are burning through what parts. That way they can figure out why they're burning through parts and save money on instead of buying replacement parts. They can give their guys raises.
Yeah. And believe me, I couldn't afford some of these tools in here. So I don't want to interrupt the guys on lunch, but this is our quality lab. This is where everything gets that deep dive and random checks just to make sure that everything that we're putting out there is high quality and holds up to our standard here at Anderson Manufacturing. They've got the cool cameras in there, the micro cameras, the bore cameras. This way they can just randomly grab a part on whatever we're running today and just make sure that everything that's going out isn't a problem. They're able to catch any problems that we may have and come out here and make adjustments in real time. So pretty cool. Over here we're running charging handles today. This machine is also capable of running our bolts. So again, another fully automated robot, but the charging handle is going to go in looking like a 4G. Comes out looking all nice and clean. Obviously we got to go ahead and do the handle attachment and make sure everything's good to go. But that's your charging handle. Now 415 to 424 down here, we're running uppers and lower receivers here. So as you know, Anderson Manufacturing, what we're most well known for is our lower receivers and our upper receivers. So we've got to keep those turning 24/7. Basically, how's the bolt start out? What does it look like? And then how's it come out?
Well, starting off looking like raw bar stock. Then it goes to our bar feeder, comes through there, and it comes out looking like that.
Very nice.
The most complex part we have in the shop.
That's pretty.
Yeah, obviously it's got to go through a ton of gauge checks.
Age checks. The machine has two heads. You can see in here. You got a upper and lower turret, right and left hand. They'll do one half of the job on one half of it, then it transfers to the other side and finishes it.
Damn. Or they'll be packaged up over here. He's rolling barrels right now, and they'll be sold separately for either an order or to go out to a dealer or a distributor. As you can see over here, this is kind of our overflow. It's not currently being used. This is kind of our storage area right here. A little bigger than a closet, you know?
Hey, you know, I mean, you got a little bit more than an average closet would do.
I think I've covered everything we need to cover in building 4.
All right, so where are we headed to now?
Next, we're going to kind of go in reverse. We're going to start at building 1, the original Anderson building, and then we'll work our way back to 3.
All right.
All right, so this is our broach. Right now, Mike's over there broaching up. Basically, when your lower receiver is done being manufactured, the mag well is not cut out. So, I mean, it's cut out, but it's not going to fit a magazine in there. So that broach is going to come in there and put those rivets that hold that magazine in. So, that's what Mike's working on right now. It goes in, the broach gets shoved through the mag well, and then it comes out, and Mike smooths them up, cleans them up, and then they're going to go to the next process, which is over here. They're going to get engraved. So these are running lowers and uppers as well, but these are 308, so they're AM10s, our larger receivers and larger upper receivers. Once the lower receiver is done getting broached, it's going to get tumbled, and then it's going to get cycled over here, where our roll mark will get put on, or whoever's roll mark, and then it'll get serialized, and then we'll report that serial number to the ATF. Let's get it out of this box. The lower. This is lower out of this box right here. Put it in this machine right here. This op right here is the second op. When that comes out, it's going to look like this.
So from there, it just needs to be anodized and assembled, right? Yep.
Right.
So that's almost ready.
Yeah. This is where we'll do like flash hiders, pivot pins, any small parts. We tend to keep a pretty high stock, pretty high volume of those. So we're not running anything on this guy right now. But if anything needs to be like welded, pinned and welded, we'll clear this table off and get it knocked out, man. This machine right here, we can't go too far into it, but this is where we run all of our forearms. So our M-Lock handguards, they're made out of 60-61 aluminum, are all done in this machine right here.
Now, is this some of the proprietary stuff
It is.
talked about?
Yep.
They got to keep at least a few things secret from us.
But over here in this section, our buffer tubes are being ran. Right now he's
just gauging everything.
Right now he's just cleaning them up, smoothing them up.
Yeah, he said they're going to be better.
Yep. So they'll get a quick bath over there, and then I'll grab what a buffer tube looks like before, and then show you guys the after. So you'll get started off as a forging. And it comes out, it's got your threading and your 6 positions. We're gonna send this bad boy. Oh, it's a lot more cleaned out on the inside there. This will get sent out for anodization. So any of your front sight base barrels or rifles, this is where the front sight base will get manufactured and then pinned onto the barrel. So we have to make cuts into the barrel, that way we can stake them in, and all that gets done right over here. This is Riley. He does all the RMAs, anything that you return. He does all our lifetime warranty work. So some upper receivers getting turned over here.
Now, is this proprietary stuff over here?
The fixtures are, but you're good to take video from right here if you want.
I just don't want to get nobody in any trouble.
And like everything else, got a centralized gauge section. That way everything gets gauged and checked out before it gets sent out for anodization.
I'm sorry, that's a lot right there.
Hey, do your thing, man. That's the upper receiver forging, so that's what it looks like before.
Wow, I've never actually held one before it's been milled. It's kind of cool, big old block of aluminum.
Broaching machine, if for any reason our broaching machine goes down, this is a manual broach. Basically, down there's a fixture where you place the lower receiver, and then you grab this handle and push that broach through to broach that mag well. Now we're getting ready to enter into building 4. This is where I started off. Building 4 is where all the assembly happens. So as you can see, we're kind of under construction in this area. We're adding a new assembly line and a new lower parts kit line. But any of your lower parts kits is coming off something similar to that, but I'll show you the real deal when we get over here. Anything that you order off the website is located on one of these racks. I don't want to get in their way, but this is where we do all our packaging. It's basically a turntable, comes through, stamp, send it out, and it's ready to hang up on your store shelf.
Nice.
I was waiting for other kid to come in. That's Riley's office back there. That's the guy that does all our warranty work. Shipping, where shipping's usually done for the day by now. So when the shipping crew's done, they're heading over to assembly. And we're actually going to approach assembly from the back here. So I'm not going to interrupt them right now, but Sally's over there right now. She's doing some picking. This big machine right here is our Cardex machine. We're able to store, I think there's like, there's a lot of shelves in there. I don't know the number, but those shelves can be automated, pulled down, and she can just pick from those instead of going to all these different areas and finding the products she needs. So she'll just type into her computer or put the order into the computer, and that thing will pick it, and then she'll be able to push it down and get shipped out.
Huh, pretty neat.
So right here is where the bolt carriers will get their bolts. This is our bolt assembly station. If you're ever wondering how your gas key gets staked, this guy right here.
Pretty sweet.
And this torques the little nuts that you gotta have in there. Set up for torque already, ready to roll. And this is where the bolt will get assembled. And it'll come together for final inspection. We got some dummy rounds down in these. You can see they're just complete uppers that just go through the table. Put the bolt in, make sure it extracts, and it'll get pushed down for test fire.
Nice.
Right now, Chuck's assembling. You assembling some butt stocks? Oh, gas tube.
Yeah.
He's doing some gas tube assemblies right now. Just kind of sub-assembling for these guys building rifles. This is where our carbine buttstocks get assembled. We don't got any blanks over here, but you just slap it on the buffer tube we got here. And then you push the pin through. pretty much common sense from there. And this is where the magic happens, right here. Yep.
Outstanding.
Right now they're building complete lowers, getting boxed up down here. Sweet baby Joe, he is the best one in the gun cage. That's Jeff. Jeff runs the gun cage back here. So he's in charge of all the assembly. Heading down this way, they're doing complete rifles. So this side's doing lowers, that side's doing uppers. They're gonna meet down here as complete rifles. They'll be pushed into Brian. Brian's gonna run a test fire to make sure every rifle cycles before it goes out the door.
And every single rifle gets tested.
Every single rifle. These are all rifles ready to go out.
Happiness. I had a hell of a good time here at the Anderson manufacturing facility today over here in Hebron, Kentucky. It's a great American-owned business. I wanted to call it a small business, but now that I've walked through the facility, you're not really a small business. You guys are, it's a pretty substantial business at this point. You know, kudos for you guys for staying true to the goals of what the founders put together on this, and staying with that even through all of the nonsense that we've seen take place in the world over the last few years. It would have been very easy to just sell out the principles and go for making more and more and more rifles and money. But, you know, keeping the veterans close to heart, keeping the company family oriented. I mean, everybody out here on the floor today, they all knew each other's names. They were all polite. They were courteous. Well, except for the one guy that didn't want to be filmed, but that's okay. I understand. And he wasn't rude. He just disappeared real quick. He's like, I'm out.
I'm gone. Nah, but Paul, we appreciate you coming out here. And like you said, man, even through adverse economies, it's always been a staple. And you talked to Carl, and we didn't get him on the tangent, but it's always been a staple of this company to keep with blue collar pricing, so that guys who are busting their butt out there day in and day out aren't having to take away from their family to protect their family. If you get what I'm saying there. So that's always been important to us, and producing a high volume and manufacturing our own parts and products helps us keep it that way, man. So I'm glad you got to come out here and check out behind the scenes.
Do you happen to know how many rifles Anderson has manufactured since they started, since serial number 1?
To date, I do not. I bet Carl probably does. But what I will say is we've been #1 in miscellaneous firearms production since 2020, maybe even before 2020. I know for sure from 2020 to current date. So everybody who's producing low receivers, we're #1. So, and that's coming right out of Hebron, Kentucky. We take a lot of pride in what we do, and like you said, we just take care of one another around here. So
that's the way it needs to be, man. We can make America great again, but we can only do it together.
Yep.
You know, I mean, when I say that kind of stuff on video, I mean, it sounds cheesy and cliche, but it's also the truth.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, together. Teamwork makes the dream work, and when you've got a good group of people, good family-run business like this, where everybody knows, when you wake up in the morning and you have to turn off the alarm clock, it sucks a little bit less when you're going someplace where you enjoy being.
100%.
So, thank you so much for having me down.
Thank you.
We're going to throw this video out and hopefully help you sell a few more rifles this year.
All right.
And, you know, if you ever find yourself over in Southern Ohio and feel the need to release, hit me up. You know, we'll blow some shit up on the range. Bring some of those pressed aluminum shaving blocks.
Yeah.
I would thoroughly love to see of how bulletproof those are. Because that's another thing. Anderson's a green company too. They believe in protecting our environment. So all the waste material that they're pulling off of all these machines is gathered up and made into some little cute briskets to send off to the recycling centers. So, you know, for any of you leftist environmentalist people out there, stay green, bitches. Hi, here we go. Mad Tech Industries, the official Cerakoter for Therapy Range.